Hail, Internet.
Ah.
It's Paul. It's Matt. I feel like I just did this.
Yeah.
Maybe we're in a different... Okay. Chess piece. We are here talking about theories for the season finale.
He's caught up.
I'm caught up. Or am I? Yeah. Okay. For season 1 of Castle Rock.
Ready.
So here we go. Boom. Episode 10 coming out Wednesday.
Boom, 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 boom.
So here's some theories on what we might be seeing in episode 10. Paul, take it away.
Yeah. I don't know.
Give you... I want your top 10.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, I mean, we know they have to resolve something. One of the things that they put off in the 9th episode was like really showing Ruth having to come to terms with the fact that she's killed Alan. So True. We haven't seen that. They gotta show that.
They gotta show
whatever
that.
the result of that is. We found out. I was shocked about the kid being Henry.
Another
Henry,
dimension,
an actual child of his parents as opposed to adopted. And I even think about the fact that he's adopted. So yeah, we could learn about the parents. I mean,
right.
We could learn about them. If they intend to conclude this next episode, maybe they'll have Henry go back to where he belongs, but maybe he has to die.
Correct. True. Now, when you say back where he belongs,
or back to his own reality.
You mean? Sorry.
The kid.
We should do the
kid.
Let's do the nomenclature.
The kid.
When we say Henry, we'll be talking about the Henry we've been talking about the whole time.
Yes.
And then otherwise we'll be talking about the kid.
The kid.
We'll be talking about Skarsgård is the kid.
Prime.
I know. Okay. So if you've been with us at all before, we talked about this. Sounds similar to Counterpart.
Yes.
It's a really cool show. If you haven't seen it, we recap the whole series. Go check it out.
Yeah.
But basically, Counterpart involves 2 alternate universes with all the same people in it. And there was, J.K. Simmons plays a character that's a prime version of himself, and so we had to use nomenclature like it's prime J.K. Simmons. Oh crap! Interestingly, that show, one of the symbols for that show or little metaphors was on the game Go. A lot of black and white pieces moving across the board. That's kind of a spy versus spy thing. It's not really, but it is sci-fi, obviously. But this one, I kind of feel like maybe this chess analogy is coming about. We see, Ruth has these chess pieces. Obviously, a chess set has the same pieces on each side of the board, but they're different because dark and light. Castle Rock itself, a castle, a rook is a chess piece. It's one of the pieces. So maybe there's this chess analogy perhaps being played out here, that there are these. It made me start thinking maybe there's because there's an episode called The Queen. It's an episode where Ruth is learning about the pieces. Yeah. We're learning about her use of the pieces. Maybe there's like an analogy to, who is the Black King, for instance, who is the White Knight. I don't know. Maybe they have like different people maybe fill different roles on a chessboard. I don't know that for a fact. I haven't really done a lot of work on that, but just a thought, throwing it out there. Maybe
theories.
There
you go.
It does seem like this is all revolving around the kid getting home.
Yes.
And I think that we're going to see the kid get home, probably with the help of Molly.
You really think so?
I just don't know that it's going to be a good outcome when it happens. As you say, he might die. Or what will it solve? Will it solve anything other than, hey, I'm back?
Right, because he thought...
He had a wife and a kid, maybe. A kid on the way, we guess.
Right. And he thought in that place that he might have had a cure for Alzheimer's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe he thought he could help his mother.
Right. If he goes back, could he come back again? I don't know. Here's a question I have. Is this... So it's kind of like there's a portal between worlds, and it seems like they're listening for the sound.
Right.
As the sound gets louder, which has been getting louder lately, like maybe once every 27 years, there's a portal opens up. Is that maybe the idea? In which case, if it's coming around, then it wouldn't come around again for another 27 years, is maybe the idea? Or
I don't know. I don't know what they... I mean, I would hope it's not sort of you know, because one thing it could be as cyclical as you were saying, but another thing could be related to other facets that cause flare-ups. So the fact that it focused around this one person, well, this one member of a family who is either the birth person or the adopted person, the fact that it's centered around that might mean it's other forces that are involved with it. You know, like, oh wait, you didn't have a son, and then you had an adopted son, and then maybe we got to resolve that.
So in other words, it's nature trying to fix itself.
Right.
And so that's why planes or helicopters crash and buses, because it's like nature's trying to fix the problems.
Right. So
the grinding.
Right. So, you know, it's possible that, although I feel like it makes you think he's even more likely he's going to be dead. Oh, he's dead now, so that kind of solves it.
Well, like, for instance, if he goes back, we don't know.
I would think both of them have to die if that's the case.
We do know this. Okay, I was about to, actually, I think I just answered my own question.
Ooh, oh, wow.
I was going to say...
I don't need to be here.
You know, get out of here. I was going to say, when the kid goes back, it'll be 27 years later, and so, like, even his wife would be much older than him. But that's not necessarily the case.
I don't think so.
Because
I think
we know that when Henry, as a boy, and I guess a kid, when Henry, as a youngster, was in the alternate world,
right,
only 11 days passed in our world, whereas years, maybe decades passed in the other one. So so theoretically the kid could jump back to his own. Maybe that's also why he doesn't age.
Right. I meant find a cure for her at his present time.
True.
That's what I'm talking about. It's not like she's like done with the problem.
But I was also thinking it would be kind of sad if he shows up and it's like, oh, my wife, she's now 60 and my kid is 30 years old now.
Yeah, I think you're right. That would be the time when he left, or soon after that.
Slightly after, a couple days.
Because then his mother would probably be dead. So, if he has a way of helping, and two, I guess that tells us that the problem with Ruth isn't necessarily involved with proximity to Castle Rock, right? Because she's not in Castle Rock anymore.
In the alternate world, she's in Florida.
Still suffering from the Alzheimer's. So it's a question of whether or not it really does have a cure, or whether it is even related to anything that is going on with there.
I feel like it's a combination. I think she has a debilitating mental illness, but she also has some kind of a time jumping quality to her that's
perhaps
an effect of this schisma.
I mean, I guess the question is going to be if the next episode is kind of, we wrap that up, or if it's just going to be...
There's so many questions left unanswered, I can't imagine they wrap them all up. So they don't.
No, certainly not all of them, but, will they even just try to...
wrap up the significant number.
Yeah.
Also, since it is a horror genre, it's going to end with a bad outcome.
Yeah,
something bad, like maybe the kid goes back and I'm back and everything's great, but meanwhile Henry has something like you see him like spinning through time. I don't know. I'm with Cannibal Girl. So I feel like that'll be like a stinger. Well, do you think there'll be like an end credit thing, maybe even like a post credit?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Like next time.
I would think they. I don't know. They might. I mean, that's just a style of doing it.
Yeah.
The other would be within the course of it, they would start, which they may have already, whatever this second season's going to be about. They might have already started that.
Right.
Like we were saying with Wendell and
Jackie, perhaps.
Jackie, yeah.
Okay, so here's some questions that I would like answered.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they're going to necessarily answer them. But for instance, one.
What's the deal with those kids?
What's the deal with the kids? Good
having point. All their stupid, legal procedures.
The kids with the legal procedures and the animal masks.
Yes.
I'm going to guess they won't bring them up. But I'd be interested.
Season 2.
They're adults now. Where was Warden Lacey in the alternate world?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Didn't see him.
No, we didn't.
And it's just weird that you've got both of the Pastor Devers, alternate and the real world, are both crazy.
Yeah.
You just have to say, but we only see the one. Lacey's the one that captures the kid in our world.
Right.
And that happened. Like the kid arrived after Pastor Deaver died.
Right.
So, who's telling Lacey, capture this kid? He's evil and horrible, and he's saying God spoke to him. But, like in other words, if it was just Pastor Deaver saying God spoke to me, you'd be, oh, he's crazy.
Right.
But the fact that there's a second guy tells you that something else is talking to these people, perhaps. That they're not. It's not just chalk it up to crazy guy in both worlds. It's like crazy people.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, the fact you have a number of people hearing it.
Yeah.
It's just not one person hearing it, and then
So
Henry hearing it. Yeah. So is it? I mean, I feel like it's more likely the voices of the people from the other world that are confusing them, and not some benevolent
it's probably the arrival
God.
of
Why?
the kid.
Because I'm an atheist. I don't want it.
Take it out of my horror. So maybe
you've got religion in my horror. I've got
horror in my religion. Two great tastes
that don't belong together.
Down on Castle Rock. Okay. So maybe it is the arrival of the kid. We know one thing, that the kid, and then perhaps also Henry, because when Henry's in the other world, there's Juniper Hill has its own fire.
Sure.
And he's like, I couldn't help the people. They were too. He said they were too close. I don't know what that means, but maybe the idea is that when these guys go to the wrong place, their proximity to people can set off the worst impulses in them.
Sure.
And so maybe here's a guy who's in this woods cult, Lacey.
Yeah.
And he's predisposed to hearing a voice from God.
Sure.
And being near the kid, suddenly he goes, psh, and he gets this like bad impulse.
Okay.
Throw him in a trunk and lock him away forever.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe it's more of the byproduct of the kid's presence. But something that you kind of helped answer this question, or perhaps, but it still needs answering. Lacey, we saw that in his basement, which was locked up and then unlocked subsequently when the bed and breakfast people arrived, had all these paintings of the kid.
Oh, yeah.
And we see one of those paintings. Henry looks at it and is like, 1991. That's the year when the bad things happened. And it's a picture of the kid wearing Henry's sweater. It's got the little
that he was wearing when he disappeared.
Yeah, there's the disappearance sweater. How did that happen?
Right. Yeah, initially I was suggesting that perhaps Lacey was having visions of the kid in the universe where he grew up. But the other thing I just thought of while we were talking was perhaps that's just him interpreting, he's really this other person, and that's how he's expressing it.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Like, in other words, he figured out that Henry was Henry.
Yeah, perhaps by hearing, whatever.
Good point, because he does say when he's leaving to kill himself, he's like, you asked for Henry Deaver.
Yeah.
So why would he say that if he didn't know there was a connection?
Yeah. Because I mean, what we thought was like, he's a lawyer, he can help you get out. But now it seems like that's the least of the concerns that he would have.
There's a ton of lawyers around.
Yes.
Right,
exactly.
One from Texas. He probably doesn't even lice to practice law in this state. But yeah, so I guess we figured
we work at a law firm.
What? Mystery solved.
But we're not lawyers.
Okay.
We only play them in the
play them
YouTube.
on TV, YouTube stuff. Okay, so that's a good point. Lacey figured it out that there are two Henrys after talking with Henry.
Yes.
With the kid. With the kid for decades while smoking his cigarettes.
Yes.
You wonder why. What he thinks. Like maybe he feels like having those two kids, having the two Henrys unite, will do something positive.
Perhaps. Yeah. I mean, because I'm wondering what this the arc of it was. Because Pangborn, or whatever his name is that it, Pangborn?
Alan Pangborn.
Pangborn was saying, he told me you were the devil. But maybe after a time, because he seemed to change his mind or something.
Yeah.
So maybe after he's like, oh, maybe he's not the devil. Maybe he's really, And one of the things I mentioned to you was a theory that I had where, when the kid first got over, it seemed he was like, I don't know what's going on around me. I can say a little bit, but not a lot. And then by the time we get to the end of the 9th episode, he's like, I'm going to tell you everything that happened.
Yeah, he's
you know me and I know you.
Back.
He seems to have more of his faculties back. And you can even say that, I guess, when he was in the house with Ruth, and he seemed more...
well, he's definitely talking more.
Right, yeah.
I mean, his vocabulary went way up.
Yeah, so maybe that's another indication that something's coming to a head, where, perhaps Henry, when he was in the other place for a very long time, towards the end of it, he was, because, I guess he still seemed like he's pretty shaken up, though.
He was shaken up. He had to wear glasses. She gave him the sunglasses, so because he was light sensitive. He didn't talk a lot. He said the word Henry Deaver, basically. He did talk a little bit, but he was
that's right.
Too.
Yeah. And it's Molly, the empath. It's like, oh, you need sunglasses.
Well, it does seem like with the Molly character, they're throwing her into the role of
and that's interesting, right?
Dead Zone.
Sorry to throw you another curveball, but poor Molly in our universe is so messed up. I can't leave the house. I can't do anything. And then Molly in the other one was like, oh, my sister's a screw-up.
I'm on city council.
Just fine.
I am well-adjusted.
Yeah.
Don't need OxyContin to
No, just get through the
survive.
day. Yeah.
And then she
keep
gets
out
shot.
the voices.
That's interesting because...
Yeah, that's true. See, it pays to be crazy.
It does. We see pretty clearly that Zalewski's chasing her in the forest,
right,
and he shoots in the air. And then we see that shot somehow ends up in her back. So that's a question of like...
Was it
I assume that because they definitely... if they had wanted it to be vague... They would have had him shoot like over her head or something.
Right, it's going to be significant.
So either the bullet somehow got into the portal, and then
I reject that. No, I reject it.
Or someone else shot.
I feel like that's what we're going to see.
That the bullet didn't come from Zalewski's
That's a theory. There in the next episode.
There in the next episode. Somebody.
I'm going to shoot her. I hate Molly. Blam.
Here's like the it'd be sad part.
Or maybe it's Molly that shoots herself.
Exactly. That's what I was going to go with. You guessed it. Like she realizes.
Well, I was like, Molly's so nice. Who would want to shoot Molly?
For some reason,
Molly
would. Bollywood. No. She realizes somehow that in order to fix the timelines or something,
she's got to shoot herself.
Shoot herself to make the kid follow Henry. I don't know.
Who knows? We'll find
so
out.
She knows there's a shot coming, so she's like, all right, I'll time it.
One,
because she already saw it before. I mean, it would almost have to be somebody that knew it was coming, right? Maybe? Because you don't hear two shots.
Yes.
All right. Anyway. So maybe Molly... I don't think it's a huge stretch to think that Molly accompanies the kid into the alternate world.
Well, they're already, she's already said you're there and you're helping me. She already told them the whole story. She's the only one who knows.
So I feel like that's going to happen.
Not
I think
dead.
our world Molly is going to go to alternate world. At least temporarily. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I was just thinking that she would be on that side. Or in that nexus where it is, and then area. Blam! Oh, you're dead now. I'll live my life over in this world.
Maybe that'll even be the thing that she'll get trapped over on the other side.
I don't know. I feel like one thing we discussed, I think before, we don't think we discussed it in front of this camera. Did we? I don't think we did. It's like we've established that these two different universes, and we've had two people sort of cross over. Probably not going to be like in Counterpart, where that'll be the new world, where people are going back and forth and back and forth. That would be a resolution,
right?
Where
they talk about the bridge between worlds. But you're right. That would be a resolution. Like season 3, they're like, well, we gotta We got a wormhole
Yeah.
that we just go
that
through.
doesn't seem likely.
Okay, that's probably true.
So, either...
It might be more, maybe a better analogy might be the show Fringe, where you've got the two alternate worlds. The doctor brought the son from the other world to replace the son he'd lost. And then, like, the two worlds start colliding and bad things are happening.
But then they were going back and forth, too.
They were going back. But I'm saying it was like, only one can survive.
And one of the world was so messed up that they're almost destroyed it.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
So, no.
Okay. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this in our 5 and 6 wrap-up, but those forest fires,
Yeah?
I think they're still going on. They're really, really close to town. Why wouldn't you have evacuated the town by now? Somebody even mentions it. Have they evacuated? Nope. Why are you? Everybody's wearing masks. There's smoke in the town. There's fire. They're like, it's out of control. We can't stop it. Leave! Get out of town! Anyway, but yeah, the hellfires are going to consume our world's version of a Castle Rock. Will that happen? They're Probably not. I imagine that once the problem gets solved, and say the kid goes back and fixes something, somehow the rift, that the forest fires will go out. Maybe spontaneously.
Ooh. With a sound effect.
It'll do that. Castle Rock. Okay. All right, we talked about the shirt. We talked about Henry. What's going to happen to the two Ruths?
Oh.
Will we see Ruth like have her dementia fixed in one of the realities? Or you think maybe he goes back and?
Well, it would be sad if the one that killed her, killed Alan. If that one, it's kind of like a blessing for her to stay in the
make
past.
Her sane again. Yeah. She's like, oh, now I have to live with everything I've done.
Yeah. Might be better if the one in Florida,
that's already happy with Alan, can like live out her days.
Whew.
Like, look, I'm sane.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Because the more I think about it, the more I feel like it's gonna be perhaps like American Horror Story.
Okay.
Where every season
is a different
aspect. It might be. Here's a different character in Castle Rock because
like Jackie Torrance goes and opens a hotel or something.
Yeah.
Did I just call it?
I'm tempting fate so much. I'm gonna name myself after him. Hey, who's Wend sounding?
I need to marry a guy that sounds like Wendy, and we're gonna open a hotel in the middle of nowhere with a horrible past, and let's just see what happens.
It's like, I wanted to start a bed and breakfast. Didn't she say that?
Yeah, she did.
She did.
Like, I had this idea.
Yes.
And you beat me to the punch.
Yeah.
People who kill people.
Yes. Man, how many punches did they beat her to?
Also, it's why she knew so much about axes, right? I mean, she was like, "Oh, that's not a fireman's axe."
True. No.
And he's like, "You know a lot about axes." Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah,
she does. Yeah, my uncle killed a guy with one.
That was Scatman Crothers, right? In the movie.
Right. Yeah.
See, that's why I like the book better. Scatman lives.
Yeah. Red Rum.
Yeah, Red Rum.
You got the shining.
He lives.
So yeah, I think that might be the case too, where maybe we do a somewhat of a resolution with the Henrys.
Somebody dies, somebody lives,
and then in the
maybe in the next universe, right? Because they can be happy over there, but in our universe, we're still unhappy. Just everybody stay out of this area.
Yeah, you kind of feel like Castle Rock is doomed in one of the settings, maybe. Like,
right,
it's happy in one, and everything went to hell.
Yeah.
But just to mention that Molly, it does seem like she is kind of the Dead Zone kind of stand-in in this. Dead Zone did take place in Castle Rock, and he would touch people, and then he could see their futures, and then he would try to change their futures before the future was realized. And so she's kind of that way. When she touches young Henry, and she's like, "Oh, I know everything about you now. Wow, okay, you're from the other world. Got it. Let's figure something out before I get shot by myself." I don't know, maybe. What else? Does this mean I guess not.
No.
Is there an adopted... Is the kid who became Henry Deaver the adopted Henry Deaver in our world? Is there a kid in the other world that's getting adopted who is actually another Henry Deaver? I don't know. That seems a little weird because then you'd almost have to have two kids as well. The kid. Why is it? That's another mystery in some ways. Is why couldn't Sissy Spacek Ruth have kids in this one, but she could in the other one?
Yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, so things to learn.
Yes.
We'll be watching. Hope you will too. We'll be back. We're going to talk about. We still have to talk about 7 and 8.
Yep.
Then we're going to talk about 9 and 10.
Yeah.
And probably do some little season 2 things once we've seen episode 10 and seen all of our predictions.
That's right. Come to pass.
Oh, real quick too. The monument. You talked about this maybe in our last chat, but the idea that the kid wanted Alan Pangborn to retrieve the sheriff car from Lacey.
Oh.
Might be a connection, a way to get to the bridge.
Oh,
the
sure.
gaps.
Yeah, maybe.
If we drive the car at a certain time off the cliff, we'll, much like Lacey did, or was trying to do, we'll go back into our, I don't know. Maybe they'll use the cop car to get back to the other side. That's a theory.
Yeah, right.
Anyway. All right. So anyway, thanks everybody. If you've got theories, feel free to put them in the comments. You can tell us our theories are horribly stupid. That's fine
you
too.
should. That's fine. We can take it.
Yeah, we can.
Because honestly, I think they are too.
There's like 0% chance.
No,
any of
that's
this will
never gonna. No.
And Henry's a vampire. Okay, great. All right. So thanks everybody. Bye now.